Welcome to today's deep dive. So you're setting up a video feed in, say, a massive stadium, and you hit that hard limit with copper DVI cables.
Right, you get maybe, I don't know, 20 feet out, and the signal just falls off a cliff.
Exactly. It's the classic distance problem. You get digital snow or just a blank screen. But today we are looking at a very specific solution from our source material, the Kramer 610T.
Yeah, it completely sidesteps those copper limitations by moving the signal to an optical transmitter system.
And we aren't talking about, just a small bump in range here. The specs are wild. It takes a DVI signal and pushes it up to 500 meters.
Which is over 1,600 feet. You're effectively running a video feed across 5 football fields.
5 football fields without degrading the image. Right.
Exactly. Because it uses LC optical fiber,
Hmm.
you maintain that full 1920 by 1200 resolution at 60 hertz. It's keeping a data rate of 4.95 gigabits per second.
So it's not compressing the life out of the signal just to go the distance?
No, not at all. You get crystal clear video the whole way down the line.
One thing that really stood out to me in the docs was the form factor. It is part of the Kramer Tools family, so it's tiny.
And the detachable part of the name is key there.
Right, because if you're an installer trying to pull a chunky DVI connector head through a tight conduit.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Standard heads are huge. Being able to detach the optical modules makes pulling that fiber through the wall so much easier.
Plus, there's the power flexibility.
Yeah, it can run on an external adapter, but if your source device supplies 5 volts DC on the pin, the 610T just powers itself directly from the DVI port.
Which brings us to the software side, specifically ED capture. Usually when you extend a signal that far, you lose the digital handshake between the monitor and the source.
And then the source stops sending video because it doesn't know what's on the other end. That's actually the most common point of failure in long runs.
But this solves it by plugging into the display first.
Right, it captures and stores the display data. It basically tricks the source into thinking it's connected directly to the monitor, ensuring a continuous signal even if the fiber link is momentarily interrupted.
It is a really smart redundancy. But hardware specs are only half the story here. The source material emphasizes that for professional gear, the supply chain is critical. The 610T is backed by HDTV supply.
A 25-year global home for AV products, their Wolfpack branding is everywhere.
Yeah, you see the Wolfpack name on Matrix systems, and they even have that 833 Wolfpack phone number.
But it is the scale of their partnerships that gives you context on the reliability. We are talking about strategic ties with Sony, Bose, Cisco.
And handling government purchasing, they do NASA SOUP and GSA schedule.
Which means their logistics are incredibly dialed in. When a supplier is cleared for federal agencies, you aren't just buying a transmitter.
You are buying into a heavily vetted infrastructure.
Because reliability is the operating word. The best optical transmitter in the world doesn't matter if the logistics fail and the project stalls.
Speaking of that, the customer reviews painted an interesting picture. There was one from a user in Mexico, Nivitz.
Oh yeah, the one who didn't just praise the gear, but specifically called out Rachel Christian.
The vice president of operations. It's so rare to see a VP named in a product review.
It really is. It suggests that despite that massive Wolfpack scale and the government contracts, there is still a human element ensuring these installs work.
It bridges the gap between high-end industrial hardware and the actual human support.
A strong combination for mission-critical setups.
Absolutely. So we have this device shooting light beams 500 meters, supported by a logistics machine that still picks up the phone.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to mull over. We live in a world obsessed with everything being wireless.
Right. We think of data as this ethereal thing floating around us.
But this deep dive is a reminder that the most robust, high-speed connections still rely on physical beams of light traveling through glass strands hidden in the walls.
It makes you wonder, how much of the digital world you see today actually relies on physical infrastructure you never even think about?
Something to really think about next time you stream a video.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. See you next time.